Now here's the next one. Respond. The ability to let life touch you. Don't let it kill you, but let it touch you. Here's what's important. Let sad things make you sad. Because we need to understand the depths of sadness so we can understand the incredible ecstasy of joy. You can't know the highs without the lows. You can't dismiss all the things that need to burden your heart and your soul. The drama of Jesus' life, there were two words that were so important. Here they are. It said he was touched, and it said he was moved. I'm asking you to jot down those words. You've got to learn to be touched and to be moved. Part of it is to be moved out of complacency, to be moved out of just drifting. But it's also to be moved by the story, to be moved by what happened, and to be touched by someone's dilemma, and to be touched by someone's problem. Respond. I've learned how to do that. I'm the best guy in the world to take to the movies. I really get into it. I want to be taken on a journey. Make me laugh, make me cry, take me high, take me low, shake me over hell, but don't leave me unmoved. I finally saw Dr. Zhivago for the third time in Melbourne, Australia. Come see Dr. Zhivago. I went and saw it for the third time. I'd always missed the significant ending of the movie until this time. Finally, I got it. Comrade General said, Tanya, how did you come to be lost? And she said, I was just lost. He said, no, how did you come to be lost? And she said, well, the city was on fire. The war had come. And my father and I were running through the city, and he let go of my hand, and I was lost. And Comrade General said, no, Tanya, Komorowski was not your father. Do you think your father would have let go of your hand? This man, Dr. Zhivago, the poet, I'm telling you, he was your father. I've been searching for you, and I found you. This was your father. I finally got the message. The other times I'm eating popcorn waiting for the movie to finish. I mean, you know, this time I got it. I got it. He was not your father. If my father would have been with me, would he have let go of my hand? Would he have died first? See, you got to let the drama, you got to let the emotional drama affect you, because here's what it does. It fills up your emotional bank so that when you get ready to talk, we're going to discuss later on today, you draw not only from language, but from emotion. And the mixture of both language and emotion is some of the most powerful force in the world. So let yourself be affected. Let yourself be touched. Let the positive make you positive. Let the sad make you sad. Let the joyful make you joyful. Let the songs ring in your head. But also let the minor key, let the sadness affect you so that you'll be a well-rounded person when you deal with the marketplace, your children, and everyone else. Now here's the other three. First, learn to absorb everything around you. Take it all in. Don't miss anything. Next, respond. Let life touch you. Here's number three. We just briefly touched on it. Reflect. Reflect means to go back over and experience. If you've been through something, when it's over, just sit down and think about it again. You say, well, some things are tough to relive. I know, but if you'll go through a bit of the emotional drama again, it'll drive that experience so deep in your consciousness, it'll never go away. Now, this is not to drag you back into the past. This is not to drag you down into the sadness that if that was all there was to life, it would overwhelm us all. It's not to do that, but it's to make you a richer person in terms of the full spectrum of emotional content. It's to make you a whole person to better understand someone else's dilemma if you let the dilemma of certain things affect you as much as it can. Reflect back and let the thought of it, put your head between your legs as you ponder, wow. Here's some good times to reflect. One, at the end of the day. Take a few minutes at the end of the day. So you lock that day into your consciousness to serve you well the rest of your life. Here's a good phrase. Each day is a piece of the mosaic of our life. When you get ready to talk about your past, you don't want any of these pieces to be missing if you can help it. Bill Bailey was entertaining us with some stories last night. He knows the names. He knows the date. He said it was raining. It was a cloudy morning. I could see the storm coming from the east. So that's so powerful. How old? How young? Who? What were they wearing? Who else would remember? Special people remember the drama. They reflect until it becomes part of them. You read a book and then you reflect on the book. Bill Bailey's unique because he can read a 300-page book in about 45 minutes. And then he can tell you about this book and make it more fantastic than if you read it yourself. So I just follow him around and don't have to read so much. Incredible. Reflect. At the end of the week, jot down, take a few hours. Hey, a week is such a piece of your life. You traded labor for a paycheck. You traded a piece of your life for getting paid and compensated. And all of the other drama of the things that happen to you, social, personal, spiritual, physical. A week is worth pondering. Take an hour, go back over your notes and go back over your day timer and go back over everything and say, where have I been and what did I do and who did I see and what did they say and how did it feel? At the end of the month, take half a day. At the end of the month, at the end of the week, a year, take a weekend. Time to reflect. Maybe this is what was meant when the advice was given. Here it is in Scripture. Every once in a while, you should go into your closet. It's an interesting word, closet. I don't know if it's a closet like we have today, but what I think it means is a place away. Go into your closet, away. And then it said something interesting. When you get in there, shut the door. Shut the door. Not necessarily a physical door to shut yourself in, but to shut everything out. To shut everything out for a while. And just in there, in that place of solitude. For all of my public life, traveling all around the world, you know, from hotels and limousines and all the rest of the busy life I live, guess what I seek? Solitude. The time alone, part of it up at the farm for me, making wine and growing crops is part of it. But some of that's sort of just like a diversion, doing something else versus, you know, traveling and lecturing. But sometimes I have to get alone. All alone on the side of the river, bank of the river. I've got a dirt bike. I ride the Jeep trails up at Clear Lake in California, where there's no stop signs, where life is simple and easy. Listen to the birds and watch the chipmunks. Away, away. And when you get into your closet, it says, shut the door. And there you think about your life and think about your marriage and think about your friends. Think about the past and think about the future. What could you do now once you come out of the closet? A place away. Solitude. Jot this down. Some answers you must come up with all by yourself. And some solutions you must come up with alone. Some decisions. Your wife can help, and your husband can help, and the family can help, and people around you can help, and friends can help, and you can get input from everywhere. And finally, when it comes down to the final decision, some of that you have to do all alone. They say the presidency of the United States is a lonely job. The general of the army, many times that's a lonely job. Sending people into battle, knowing some are going to lose their lives. That's a lonely job, making those lonely decisions that's going to affect so many. But whether it affects your life personally or someone else, you got to take some of this time and get used to the time to be alone to make those decisions and think things over. Okay. Reflecting. Here's what it does. Helps you to gather up the past and invest it in the future. So you got to make that note because only humans can perform this miracle. Taking the past and investing it in the future. Dogs can't do it, animals can't do it, fish can't do it, snakes can't do it, only humans can do it. Here's what you can do. Greatly alter the future by investing the past into the future. Past errors in judgment that you've now corrected. Past errors in thought that you've now corrected. Past loss of time that you now know better how to utilize. Now you begin to invest all this into the future. You can't believe the productivity scale. You can't believe the learning scale. You can't believe what will start coming out now into the future. Your promise will be brighter than you ever thought possible. Learning to gather up the past and invest it in the future. When my father was about to turn 76, I said, "Dear Father, can you imagine what it's going to be like to gather up the last 75 years and invest them in your 76th year?" Wasn't that a good idea? That's better than saying, "I think I can hang on one more year." I mean, come on. Gathering up the past and investing it in the future. Jot this down. The past is currency. We sometimes use this expression, this person has a wealth of experience. Is experience wealth? And the answer is yes, it's wealth. The past becomes currency, coin, commodity, available now from lessons learned, from emotions gathered, from things not missed, from colors and sights and sounds and highs and lows, and progress and deceleration. All of that combined now, put into the next few weeks, the next few months, the next year. You can imagine the accelerated progress that comes from learning to do this exercise. It's very important. Now here's number 4. We absorb, we respond, we reflect. Number 4, now we must act. We must now put all of the learning and the emotional content into activity. Why? Without that, reality eludes us. It cannot be created. You can't create a career unless you do these 4 steps. Absorb what you can, learn all you can, respond to it and let it affect you. Let the emotional part of it drive you. Set your